One of the most powerful effects in magic is those that happen in the hands of the spectator, and this trick falls into that category. You require just a regular deck of cards, 52 cards, and the help of 2 spectators. So this is how the performance looks. You say, I'd like you to grab those cards and I want you to shuffle them in case you think if I shuffle them I'm doing something untoward with them. So I want you to take the cards and just give them a thorough shuffling. The spectator will shuffle these cards as much as they like. Once they're happy with the shuffle, they give the cards back and you say, look, you've now shuffled those cards. Myself, you, or anyone else in this room have no idea what that top card is, but that is your chosen card. Are you happy with that? Yeah. Now, just in case you think a magician may change this, we're going to mark the card so that I can't swap it out. So what I'd like you to do is just put your name just on the card there. Now the spectator will sign their name on the back of the card. That way I can't be accused of swapping the card. For the first time, let's see what card you signed the back of. Your chosen card is this one, the 5 of clubs. It could have been any card. You shuffled this to the top. You've now ruined it by signing your name on the back, but at least we can't swap it in any way. Now what I'd like you to do is hold out the palm of your hand, okay, because I'm going to get you to look after this. Put your other hand on top. Now at this point the spectator has cupped the card between their hands. No one can get to that. It is a free choice, by the way. I turn to the second spectator and say, I'm not going to shuffle the cards. I know I'm tempted, but I'm not, because they're in the order that you shuffled them. All I'm going to do is to flick the cards and I want you to choose a card randomly. Just call stop, stop there. You're happy stopping there. I just want to show you that this is a card you've chosen here, but you could have had any of these, and you can see that they are all random. And in fact, if we just put that out there, you could have had any of these. Let me just show you those. I think you'll agree that you did have a free choice of any card in the pack. You actually stopped off at the 10 here. What I want you to do is, you signed the back of your card. I want you, sir, to sign the face. So they will take the pen and they will then sign their name on the face of the card. I want you to do the same as your friend here. Hold your hand out. I'm going to give you the card. Just put that on your palm and put your other hand over the top. Now it's often said that magicians can control things with their mind, move things around. Some people call it telekinetic. But I'm going to do something different. You see, if I was going to do a telekinetic move, I could transpose your card to here or your card to there, or both of them to join. But I'm not going to do any of that. You see, I'm going to do something a little bit different. If I just wave my hands around yours, wave my hands around yours, doesn't look as though much has happened. But I want you to have a look in your hand. You can see that the card's still there, it hasn't vanished, but what I'd like you to do is to turn that card over and have a look. There, you'll see your signature has vanished. Not the card, your signature. And I want you just to confirm for the people at home that the card hasn't got any smudges on it, there's no ink on there at all, it hasn't been wiped off, it really has vanished. It's gone. You, sir, you chose your card after you signed yours. It was a free choice. You could have had any of the 52 cards. Lift your hand up. There is your signature on your card that you chose after the first selection. And yet, how did this signature of yours manage to transpose onto here? And you can see it's on there. Is that your signature? And that's your signature, and that is a great transposition effect. Practice and enjoy, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done already, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you'll be told exactly when we upload new videos, which is every week, once or twice. Stick around for the tutorial. This card trick is one of those impromptu ones. You don't need any special cards or setup, but I would recommend that you use an old deck of cards. As a magician, we've all got those cards that once we've used them for a while, we tend to put them to one side. I never throw old decks away because this type of trick suits it perfectly, because every time you perform this, you're going to ruin one card. So this particular pack here, I've used for a while. To be honest, there's not 52 cards here because I've done the trick several times and I lose a card every time. But it will suffice for this. The cards are regular. You give them to the first spectator to shuffle, and they will do that. They will shuffle the cards and give them back to you. Now, the great thing about this trick is the fact that that top card really has been arrived at random. Neither you or the spectator knows what that card is, and what we go on is the premise that some magicians cheat and may swap the card out. So that we mark the card, we'll get you to sign it. Now, they will sign the top card that they've shuffled there. So you can get them to sign the card anyhow they like. Okay, now at this point you're going to grab the cards, or you may even already be holding. I tend to hold them and get them to sign it. That way, if I put my thumb over, I can kind of force them to sign it in a particular place. I don't like it when you have to say, I want you to sign in this corner here, or up this end, or this end, because I kind of feel that some people might read that into, why do I need to sign it in a particular place? So casually, I pick the cards up and say, look, let's mark your card that you shuffle to the top. And with my thumb in the way, if I just do that, they're not going to sign here. And I want them to sign at one end of the card, and you'll see why in a moment. You then do a double lift, however you do that. So if I just do a double lift, now what I've got are two cards here. So I've just done a double lift. They think that the 7 of diamonds is the card that they chose. Okay, and you can flash this. At this point, remember, some people say, oh, will they notice? Well, no, because they're not expecting anything at the moment, because the trick is just started. People tend to look close at your hands later on in the routine. At this point, they're just choosing a card. They've shuffled the cards and they've just chosen a card. You've literally turned it over to show that. But I've got two cards. Okay, the card that's been signed is the 3 of spades. What you do is you show them this, you square it up, and you're going to just get a break under here, and then once you've got a break, because you're going to make that easy to lift up, you ask a spectator, can you just hold the palm of your hand out? As they do that, you don't have to make a big deal of this, don't have to do this, just casually, as you go to lift this off, like this, you're turning the pack towards yourself, because you've got that chosen card there, the signed one, still face up, so you don't want to reveal that. So you kind of just time it and just give them that. That part is clean. They believe they've signed the back of the 7, of course they haven't. They're now holding the card between their hands. Remember to keep this towards yourself, because you don't want to flash this card, so keep it towards yourself. What I need to do is to turn this pack end for end. Now, I don't make a big deal of it, I just kind of say, what I'm going to get you to do is to choose one of these cards that are shuffled by you. Can you see I've just turned it end for end? There's a reason for that. You'll see in a moment. You then flick the cards. Again, don't reveal this. You're going to flick the cards. They call stop. Now, when I cut the cards, I say this is the card you stopped at, and I push it forward a little bit as I drop these on top. Once I've dropped these on top, with my finger I just push this back in and I say, look, you could have had any of these cards. Now the first face down card you come to is actually the signed one. Now this is why I flip the deck end for end, because as you go through, the signature will be at back end of this. So what that allows me to do is say you could have had any of these, and I then push that forward again. It's a great illusion to the spectator. They still think that's the card they stopped at. I go through the other cards. In fact, what I do is I flip these over like that, show them the card, and then I'm going to pull this out. Yeah, so I'm just going to pull this out and say, you signed the back of your one, you're going to sign the face. They then sign the face of the card. You ask them to hold their hand out. You peel that off and drop that onto their hand. This one's got the signature on both sides now. They cut that. The rest of it is all performance, because you're going to do some sort of fancy thing about transposition of cards, or that you're not a particularly good magician and magicians would cause your card to vanish. And you could have, I guess you could have a lot of fun here, because you could say, when the spectator's holding this, you could say, have a peep, and they'll have a look. No, it's still there, okay. And then you try another magic spell or wave a magic wand to see if you can get it to move. They lift the hand up, no, it's still there. And I guess that could be a kind of comical touch you could put on there. But in the end, you say, okay, I can't quite get the card to vanish, but have a look underneath. Your signature has vanished. Now, trust me, that kind of knocks them. They weren't expecting that. Remember, magic is all about element of surprise. They weren't expecting that. They say, wow, where's that gone? Yeah. You then turn to the other spectator. They take the hand off. The card is there with their signature, and when they turn it over, this person's signature, and it dawns on them that, how did this get on there? Because he chose his card after I signed mine. And I think that's the real key strong point to this effect. But as you saw, it's that simple. But add your own touch to this, and then of course you can give that away as a souvenir or get rid of it. So you will lose a card, but I think it's worth it for this impromptu and very quick and simple effect that happens in the hands of the spectator. Until next time, practice and enjoy. Have fun.